Welcome. I am Dr. Milady Mortimer Ragu with the Nursing Edge podcast. I am a daughter. I am a wife. I am a mom. I am a clinical professor. I am a nurse practitioner at Family Practice Doctors. I am the co-owner of Family Practice Doctors and Family First Doctors Urgent Care. And I am a clinical professor and preceptor for universities such as Walden, George Washington University, and Chamberlain University. With that, let's start the podcast. All right, y'all. I am back. Now, the other thing I noticed, those of us with glasses always struggle with these nice little circles. So at some point, I may take them off because they're driving me crazy. But anyway, I don't know how much I'll be able to see. You know how that goes. So let's talk about a couple of things here. The number one thing I want to talk to you about is never give up. If you are watching me for the first time and you're not quite sure what this podcast is about, it's about motivating us. It's about motivating each other, motivating those who might have thought of wanting to get into nursing but did not know how to get into it, or those who have considered nursing as a career but never knew how to go about it. Nobody around them to help them with the process. This is what I do here. I try to motivate the younger, the those in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, and even 50s, if they wanted to get into nursing and they feel that they've had this burning desire. Please hear my voice. It is never too late to get into this. And you don't, again, most people are going to say, oh, I think I'm too old to get into this back-breaking work, blah, 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 blah. There's so many aspects of nursing, so many facets of nursing. You can be a nurse who works at a school. You can be a nurse who works outpatient. You can be a nurse, pediatric a nurse who really focuses on seeing patients, younger kids under 18, outpatient, vaccines, making sure that they have everything that they need to have, and supporting the nurse practitioners in physicals and things like that. You can be the nurse who is in information technology, IT nurse, that really help. They really help us when we are trying to make our systems better, our current electronic medical records, how we chart, how we gain aggregate data, how we get information to be able to improve patient experience on the portal side, how to improve nursing experience, and all of those who are documenting in the hospital. So there are so many other ways, other avenues and places that other aspects of nursing, tongue-tied, other aspects of nursing that you can go into. If bedside is not your thing, you don't have to stay there. Let me say it again. You don't have to stay there. You can become a nurse manager. I mean, again, this has to, you have to move up the ladder in order to become a nurse manager. In most places, you need to have at least a BSN to be a nurse manager. Some other places, depending on their criteria, they may require for you to have a master's. You can be a nurse educator. You can be a case manager. Every time you have somebody in the hospital and then there needs to be a plan of care for them outside of the physician, the nurse practitioners, the PAs, working together with the nurses and the nurse educators, and as well as the case managers, to make sure that all the necessary parts are in place for this patient to be discharged. You cannot have somebody who was in the hospital not walking. They were in a bed for over 2 weeks. That's very debilitating. Somebody came in walking and all of a sudden, by the time they come out, they have lost all their strength from being in that bed. Even if we've gotten them up and gotten them some physical therapy in the hospital, that can, just being there in that setting and whatever illness they had to go through or whatever we're treating can also debilitate them in terms of by the time they're going home, they're no longer able to manage the way they were. What if the patient has a wound, the wound that they don't know, they no longer need to be in the hospital. The longer you stay in the hospital, the greater risk of infection. So the goal is always get them in, treat, do what we need to do, send them out safely, right? So we don't want them to stay in only to get a secondary infection greater than what they came in with. So the goal is always to get them out safely and as soon as possible, right? So you can be a wound nurse. You can be a home health nurse where you go and visit patients in their home, in their setting, evaluate whether the patient is being safe or safer, right? There's no such thing as safe. You start to see some of the things I see. I'm going to tell my parents a little bit, especially my mom with those carpeting that she puts around the door. And I keep telling her, me as her daughter, just as an aside, y'all, I come in and I see the danger, right? Just like y'all, you go into, your parents' homes or whatever, even when you're studying as a nurse, you are picking up all these different things that you see in the books, right? In the textbooks. You tell your family, this is going to cause a fall if you keep this here. Your foot is bound to trip. Your ability to perceive danger on the floor lessens with age because your vision is weaker than when you were younger. And depending on this person's strength and their ability to lift up their feet every single time, that rug, the pieces of rug that they very often want to protect the carpet, you know all about that. That piece of rug can become a giant fall that can land someone in the hospital with a broken hip. You hear me? So what happened? I'll tell you about my mama's story. I done told her this, y'all. I told her every time I go into the house, I said, these little pieces of rug that you've got there to protect the main carpeting is a problem. So guess what? The nurse practitioner for the insurance does a house call. What does she say? Madam, the rug is an issue. It increases your risk of fall. But me as her daughter been telling her for years and years on, she wasn't listening to me. So finally she had to listen to somebody else. So, as our parents get older, they revert a bit. So there's a struggle there. Okay, so I'm going to get off that soapbox. So, what I'm saying is there are so many facets of nursing. I'm sure I've missed many, but just as a generalization, don't think that you have to be stuck to the hospital. So getting back to the purpose of this, do not give up, y'all. Different things are going to happen to discourage you. Just like in anything in life, there are going to be difficulties. Your car, God forbid, may start to have trouble. Now you got to find plan B to be able to get there. I recommend before you get in, we have Uber these days. We also have plan B in terms of a student you can carpool with. If you're coming from, let's say what is going on? If you're going in the same area, for me, it was in classroom, right? It wasn't online. So I had to find someone else that was coming towards my way that I can meet somewhere in order to carpool if needed. I had my own car, but again, anything can happen. Back in the day, we didn't have so much Uber. And if there was a taxi, boy, it was going to cost me a lot because I traveled 1 hour door to door to the university and 1 hour and 20 minutes to my clinical site, which was also near the university. So again, those of us who have to go in person, especially for clinicals, you got to go in person. For didactic, most of it these days are online, but many of you guys may also be on campus. Some of the younger folks who are at a 4-year may be on campus. So you have, you only have that area to walk to if you're on campus, but you got to think about if you are driving like I did the entire time, every day I had to be there. So I don't recall whether in the last video, not the last videos, the last few videos, I had talked about Sikorsky Bridge that was upside down. Man, the side eye I would give to the person who decided to put this bridge upside down, that thing almost took my life a few times. Yes, this is the Northeast. Back in the day, it was the Northeast where I was there. Snow, sleet, rain, I had to go over that bridge twice, sometimes more than that in a day. So this bridge was supposed to be smooth side up. Somebody, some genius, flipped it over and they kept it that way for years. So I have a call coming in so I don't freeze up. They flipped the bridge to the stud side up, and that alone caused me to be, when you are driving on that bridge, you're going, even if you're going 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, oh my goodness, you're almost going sideways on this bridge, okay? And at one point, oncoming traffic, I almost hit oncoming traffic because there was really nothing in between. Or if there, I can't remember if there was something in between. Yes, there was. But you're almost hitting traffic because it's two lanes. You're almost hitting traffic coming to the side of you. So again, I could have given up, y'all. This bridge almost took my life, like I said a few times, but I did not. I had a goal. I had invested money. When you invest money, you're not playing, right? So I had invested money and I needed to complete this nursing degree, my first degree. I needed to complete it. When I say I was hungry for knowledge. I was hungry to become a nurse, hungry to graduate. So nothing was going to get in my way. And again, thinking about not giving up when the studying gets hard. The last podcast, we talked about not passing. Get back on the saddle, y'all. Just like a bike. Get back on, ride on. Do what you got to do. I have tips or specific things you need to do depending on where you are in the program. Please contact me if you have any specific needs. But I do offer courses on this podcast that you will find extremely, extremely helpful to get you through your nursing career. So in school, I never drank coffee, y'all, until I got into nursing school. Can I say this again? Coffee became my bestie on those nights that I could not keep my eyes open. Okay? So I can tell you, I was never a coffee drinker. I really wasn't. But those days of heading up there, hour drive, some of you probably have longer time, trying to stay awake, trying to get to school, trying to study, trying to stay past midnight. I'm not promoting that you drink coffee, y'all. There's different things that people can do today that are clean. But you need that little extra spunk of energy, whatever you need to do, whether it's matcha tea, whatever it may be that you have tried before. Please don't take any of those Red Bulls. Okay, let me not go there before somebody come after me and say I don't recommend something. I'm a healthcare provider. Energy drinks, I'm just gonna say, you're gonna get a little burst of energy and you're gonna crash again. So what's the point of that, please? So I'm just gonna leave it there. Make sure you take good care of yourself. Make sure you eat well. Make sure that you drink a lot of water. Your body is almost 70% water, like 68 point something percent. Make sure that you give it what it needs. Drink plenty of water. Stay well hydrated. I always say sleep well, but I know it's very difficult to do so. It doesn't make any sense for somebody to say, make sure you get enough sleep. It's hard to get enough sleep because you have to stay up to get your assignments done. Those lovely care plans, y'all, I know how to help you with those as well. And make sure that you get things done focus your energy on what is due sooner, right? So that's why I say your calendar needs to be your bestie. I'm going to keep saying this all throughout. Your calendar needs to be your bestie, because that's the only way you're not going to miss out on assignments. Those schools that have everything online, if you're anything like me, y'all, in my 40s, late 40s, you may do well with your Google Calendar and various different calendars that you can use. But there are those of us, like myself, I need that calendar. I need reminders of that calendar. I need alarms that go off throughout the day. And I also need the paper calendar to be able to see where I'm at and what else I need to add, what else I need to remove, and what am I double booking, right? So if you're that person, make sure that you stay on track with your calendar. Now, there are going to be times that you're going to be in tears. Let me say this again. I never said this was going to be easy, y'all. I said I would provide support, and to find the village, this ain't going to be easy, y'all. There are going to be times where you're going to feel like this is so overwhelming. Why did you go into this? I implore you to remember those who came before you. The class that came before you. They got through, and so will you. Let me say it again. They got through, and so will you. This is what I always say to myself when I start to get in the mindset that, oh my God, this is tough. Okay. I'm not the brightest bulb in the room. I'm not the dimmest bulb in the room, but I work very hard to get brighter. Yes. You're going to keep doing your thing. You're going to do what needs to be done. You're going to find the resources that I have for you. Others have for you. Ask your professors. Ask your counselors. These people have been through this. It's been a while, but trust me, they know and they see they can guide you through. If you have those friends that graduated before, they were just in the program, they also have some resources that may be able to help you to get to advance or to keep up with the material, because like I said, it's voluminous. Okay. Now, your professors, again, can be very motivating, but also I'm going to be realistic, y'all. Not everybody is friendly. Not everybody's nice. Not everybody's caring. Just in everything that we do, there are some people that are just there for a paycheck. There are some people that are there because they want to do this thing. They want to be the village for you. They want to teach. They want to pass on their knowledge to the younger or those who are up and coming in this field. And you'll know them. You will know them because they will reveal themselves to you in terms of who they are, the way they teach, the way they want to give you the extra attention, right? Or they want to give you live examples, real live examples to help you retain the information. Those professors, I was very, very fortunate. When I tell you, I had some amazing professors that were so caring. They were like the mommies at the university. I had Dr. Vanessa Pomerico Donino. Yes, I'm calling her name out because she is an amazing nurse practitioner now. Dr. Vanessa, we call her Dr. V, where she was so loving. She taught GYN, and back in the day, GYN was not my thing, but let me tell you, as I got older and I became a nurse practitioner, that is primarily, outside of seeing various different health issues, I do primarily GYN at the office. This is something that she impressed upon me, and she was my clinical preceptor my last two, actually she did two of them. She precepted me twice during the end of my nurse practitioner degree. So yes, just an amazing person. I will never forget her. I am indebted to this lady. I don't think she knows. And I looked at her with such awe, and just I wanted to emulate the person that she was and she is. Let me see, the person that she is. I wanted to be like her in terms of the nurse practitioner. Patients respected her. Her colleagues respected her. Doctors came to her to ask her questions. She's just, her knowledge just blew me away. And I remember the day that I got enough in my skin and felt like, yes, Dr. V, I feel like I've arrived. That day will come for you too, where you feel like, oh my gosh, this person that I've emulated all these years, that I've wanted to emulate and want to be much like her. You're going to be you, right? But you have people you look up to that you want to be like them. And she's just one of those people for me. So love you, Vanessa. So again, as I said, you're going to have some times where you have the boo session, because not everybody in this world is happy for you. Not everyone in this world wants you to make it. Not everybody really cares to get to know you, and nor do they have time sometimes. Sometimes it's not that the professor is mean, it's that they need to go on to the next class. But some of them are not, some of them are nice, some of them not so nice. Oh, it is what it is. But again, even if they're not, listen, are they going to be around for the rest of your life? If they said something mean to you that was off, or you got in your feelings, whatever the situation may be, just move on, people. This professor is now, after this degree, done. Never got to see them again. So whatever happened in that situation, they were what I call a barracuda. Yeah, I said it. A barracuda. You go on, do what you got to do, and get through the program, and you become the person you want to be. The worst thing you can do to somebody who denigrates you and who humiliates you is to get there, is to survive it and develop thicker skin. You hear me? Get there. Don't mind all the shenanigans that they're doing. You have gone through harder things and you have survived. So guess who you're not going to pay attention to? Stick to your business. You don't have to see this person ever again. After you finish there, you say, bye-bye, Felicia. Gotta go. Let me do what I need to do. I need to survive this thing called my nursing career, and move on. Move on. This person is not your mama, not your papa. You shouldn't care so much about whatever the heck they're going to say about you or to you. Okay? Take it with a grain of salt and do what you got to do. That's all I got to say on that. So the nice people, keep them close. Just like I kept Vanessa close all these years. It's going to be that professor who's going to check in on you. I had, oh my God, Dr. Madeira. That's another one. She was amazing. She taught pharmacology. Pharmacology was tough, y'all. Yeah. But that lady, really, really, those, Miss Alba. I remember Miss Alba too. She was Nursing 101 class, where they teach you how to take blood pressures. She was that. The sweetest lady ever. There are some, is it Shelby or Chelsea? I can't remember her last name, but she was also very sweet. There are those professors you'll never forget. You know what I mean? People who have made an impact, and they have, left those beautiful footprints, I call them, on your heart, that you will never forget them. So my goal is to be that individual for many. Somebody who, I think it's an amazing thing when you have impacted somebody's life positively and you have left your mark on them and on this earth. My saying is always that at one point I will be going to the pearly gates, and I have to say to my God, I have to reply when he asks me, what did you do with the knowledge that I gave you? Did you use it to make money and enrich yourself and your family? Or did you use this knowledge to better the knowledge of my people and to enrich my people? So I have to answer that. I believe we all have to answer that in one way, shape, or another. Did you help the community? What's the point, y'all, of being on top and you're there by yourself? You see what I'm saying? I always have this in mind. There's no point to me getting there, getting to the pinnacle of my career, and I don't bring others with me. It is absolutely pointless to me. I've always been somebody who feels that it is important to share the information. Something that is going to make life easier for somebody else, whether they appreciate it or not from you. I urge you to do it. Do it not for them. Do it for God. You hear me? Do it for God. Your reward is in heaven, not here. So whoever you can help, let's be sisters to each other. Let's be brothers to each other. Let's be each other's keeper, y'all. Let's help each other get through the tough times, through the boo-woo-woos, through the sessions. You're the best person who can walk you through this walk of nursing is a nurse, one who has gone through what you're going through, a registered nurse who's already been there for years and remembers what it was like. And I urge y'all who are nurses to be transparent to those who are starting out. I know it's very difficult sometimes when you are in the hospital, you are asked to precept. It's very difficult. Precepting slows you down. The student slows you down. The institution may not necessarily pay you for doing this. And you still have to do your work and also teach the students. But remember, all of us started somewhere. All of us started with being the student. So I urge you to have patience with the students. Show them the better side of nursing, even if the institution is being a giant pain. Even if you are almost at the point of burnout, and if you are, I recommend that we're going to have another video for you. But please show the student the better side of nursing at all times as much as you can. Show them the reality of nursing too, but show them the better side of nursing. So with that, I am going to complete this side of the podcast, and I pray that you guys have heard something that I have discussed today and put it to application in your own lives. And also, this may not necessarily be for you. If it's not, pass it on to another. Pass it on to somebody that you treasure, someone you feel is worth the information, someone you feel that needs the motivation, and someone you care about. It is a village. We continue to support each other. Y'all have a good night, have a good day, have a good morning, and take care. See you next time.